Hi there, Brute Force here, and currently I'm playing Solace Crafting. Solace, I don't know sure how you pronounce that. Solace Crafting, it's an early access beta version of a crafting survival game. It's got one single developer, but he is taking on more staff now that the game has become a little bit more popular. It's a mixed bag, really. It's a good game. I like it. I've played a lot of hours, and there are problems with it being early access and being beta. There are a lot of problems, not problems, issues with it. It's got all the elements to make it a good game. Let's put it that way. But it needs more work, quite a bit more work. It's playable, definitely playable. There's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of work you can do to upgrade. And yeah, it's very, very cheap. It's very cheap. So it's worth a shot. If you like survival games, it's worth a go. So what I'm doing, the videos I'm going to do now are basically, I started playing the game and I started playing it properly, and then I decided, okay, well the game has tiers. So you start at the center of the map. It's a huge map. Starts at the center of the map, and as you work out away from the center where you spawn, when you start the game, as you move out, every 5 kilometers the tier level increases. What this means is the enemies and beasts that are always attacking you in the game get harder to kill. But you improve as you move out. You can improve, and so you can keep up with them quite well, quite easily. So what I've decided to do after playing it for a little while and getting out to, they're called tiers. I got out to tier 2 or 3, I think it was. And I thought, I wonder how many tiers there are. And I haven't seen anything written down about how many tiers there are. So tier is spelled T-I-E-R, not T-E-A-R. Yeah, so I decided I wanted to find out how many there are. I did see one video, but it was recorded in, I think, 2020 or 2021, which said something about there's only 11 tiers, and they suspect the enemies will be huge and problematic, almost impossible to kill. Well, I wanted to see how true that was. I wanted to see how difficult the enemies got and stuff like that. So I decided to head north and keep going north and see how many tiers I can get to. So the following video is my first recording of me heading north, heading for the edge of the world. So they may be a bit boring. I'll try and cut out the boring bits, because I'm just running basically. Every now and then I have to create a workshop or a base where I can upgrade my weapons and tools, so that I can do the same for later on. So your tools will actually work okay for the next 2 levels, just about. 2 levels on the harvesting and so on will get harder and harder. You actually get less resources per hit. So you have to upgrade your tools so you can actually get resources to upgrade your tools and so on. So that's what this video is all about. Along the way you'll learn some tips and tricks that I use, including a little cheat I use. It allows me to keep going very quickly. I don't have to stop and harvest lots and lots of resources to upgrade my tools and weapons. I have a little cheat that allows me to increase the amount of resources I'm collecting. So I have to collect a few, but I can increase the amount of each one. I still have to build a workshop where I can actually upgrade my weapons and so on. I just cut out or reduce the amount of time it takes me to collect resources. Because if I had to collect all the resources needed, this challenge would take months and months and months. I've been at it for 3 days so far, maybe about 24 hours, 30 hours in total. I won't tell you what level I am at now. You'll just have to watch the videos. I'll do a sequence of videos. I'll try not to make them too long. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Welcome to Solace Crafting. I've managed to get to tier 12. For those of you who don't play the game, the map is split into areas, starting with your first spawn as tier 1, and as you move outwards from that tier, the tier levels increase, the strength of the beasts that attack you increases, and so on, but nothing else really changes. The level of the resources you find is higher. So if you make tools with a higher tier resource, they are stronger, so they are better against the tier levels that you're in. So basically, I've reached tier 12 simply by running. But have a look at the map and just zoom out a bit. So I started off down here somewhere. Yes, this is nearly there. So here, this is my home. My starting point was slightly here, Origin. I named it Origin, but I found a huge tower, and I took it over, and I made that my home now. So you can go home very quickly. So if you're in a battle and you're losing, you can hit 0, as you can see at the bottom of the screen here. The 0 key takes you home. So you can allocate any of your solaces, which I'll show you in a minute what they are if you don't know. You could nominate any of them to be your hometown, so home solace. So when you press 0, you'll go to whichever one you've selected. Mine is still in tier 1, or is it tier 0? I think actually it's tier 0, not tier 1. So tier 0 is here, this area. The further out you go, I've gone north. I've sort of waddled about a bit here, when I was trying to get the hang of things. Then I legged it north. As you can see, I didn't deviate much from trying to go north, which is basically a way. I mean, you can go any direction, but just stick to that direction and the tier levels will increase. And I've reached tier 12 so far. And I've come across some strange things which you can actually see in the background there. I'll show you them in a second. So we're now at tier 12, which is here, and it looks like we've still got a few more tiers to go to. So I'm going to keep heading north. For some reason it's taken a long time to display the map, probably because I've got it zoomed out and it's trying to display too much. Yeah, that's better, a little bit better. So this is where I am. This is me, and I'm in the middle of. This is my last solace, my workshop, which I'll maybe show you shortly. So one thing I wanted to show you, and to give you some tips as well, is at tier 12, heading north, I came across these weird things. A glitch in the matrix, just a bug really. I haven't tried to go in them. Let me try that. Okay, so they're solid, you can't get in them. I guess they are parts of the ground, like, you know, it could be a stone, could be a resource, but it's not been formed correctly. So they're sitting there. That'll probably get cleared up. So all my weapons, if we have a look at, we go into my inventory and look at my adventuring. I have a tier 12 backpack which gives me 20 spaces, 20 slots to put my resources in, and I have an extra however many due to my level. I'm not quite sure how it works, but I think actually it's 20 on top of your original, so it's plus 20, because I've actually got 40 slots here. It says slots 20, but I've actually got 40, so I think you have to start with 20, and your backpack gives you the extra. So I've got 20 extra above what I've got without the backpack. Okay. So I leveled everything up to the current tier, which means everything works better. If I have a lower tier, it takes me longer to collect resources, like this tree, for example. There's a tier 12, you can see on the description that comes up when I get close. There's a tier 12 timber, and toughness is 121. So I need a tier 12 tool, which is my hatchet, to actually make any dent in it. Now you can see when I'm just doing the F key, I've got it set on auto, and you're doing the F key, it harvests hardly any. But if I use the upgraded key, the number 1 key, okay, so this is where things get a bit complicated, because I've built these harvesting tools, for example the axe, hatchet for chopping wood. See, the strength is 91.8. This is actually low, even though it's a made with legendary iron. But I've actually selected level 0, and I should be able to. I should have created it with level. So I'll go tools, hatchet. I should have created it with level 33, and I don't know why it didn't create it, because I had level 33 selected. That's very strange. So something's gone wrong there. I mean, it says strength 94.8, but lower tier had more strength than that. So I think I'm going to have to go back to my campsite, my workshop. So before I do that, I'm going to create the Solace, just so you can see what a Solace is, if you're not sure. So I go into the build menu and I select a new. Let me just kill this fucker. So build new one, and it gives me a platform, a place I can put it. I can lock it to the world grid by hitting control. It moves it very slightly. And I can also level the ground, but I don't need to. I'm just going to place a Solace here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to build it with stone, I think. Let me just have to make it the level of resources you've got. You see, I've got no other level resources on me. So you can see here it says how much you've got. So we've got plenty of stone, so we're going to create a new structure. I'll choose a resource. I'm going to click it first. And then hit the center, and down the bottom it says Solace. So I can build a Solace here. Yeah, there's something a bit strange going on with my system. I've got a mouse with programmable keys on it. One of the keys hits one, which is my strong tool, and it actually reserves. It does it 30 times. So if we don't use the 30, let me just get rid of that wolf. I keep getting this exception that has occurred, but nothing really goes on. Nothing that doesn't cause a problem. So this is the Solace. It's a sort of a see-through purpley crystal thing. Hit F to interact with it, and I can do all these things. Now, one thing a lot of people don't see is this thing here, which allows you to rename it. So I'm going to name mine Tier 12. Number 3, because that's my third Tier 12 Solace. So you can actually store stuff in the Solace, and it passes that you can any Solace, the resources you save in any Solace is available to any other Solace. So wherever my Solace is, I've access to these resources. As you can see, I haven't put any since tier 2. I haven't put any resources in there. My level of storage is 4,000. I can hold 4,000 items in total, but I haven't needed to put any in so far because I'm traveling tier to tier to tier to tier, going up tiers all the time. This is, once I get to tier 3, this is irrelevant, or tier 4, this is irrelevant. I don't need it. So the other thing, we go back to menu. The other thing is upgrades. So you can, from the get-go, you can upgrade power, which I'll show you in a minute. And you can set this as home, so when you hit the home key, hit 0 key, you'll come to the Solace that where it selected this. Oh shit, I should have done that. Okay, it's alright, I can go back to the home and do it and change it. So the power is how the range of the Solace, and you can only build within the range of the Solace, and I'll show you that in a minute. You can upgrade the storage by 100 by upgrading, and this upgrades all storage in all Solaces. And you can add a beacon so you can see it from a distance, and you can keep upgrading the beacon to make it bigger and higher so you can see it from further away. The next thing you can upgrade is the level. Now, if you want to upgrade a level, you'll get attacked. But you can build obelisks to defend your Solace. And it's advisable to do so. When you're at tier 1, probably, here your monster levels are 60. So you need a level 12, a tier 12 obelisks, at least 4 of them, to kill the demons. The demons are just balls of blue light. They're nothing special, and the obelisks deal with them very well. So if you want to upgrade this, when you upgrade the level, you can then upgrade these again. Okay, so you can, when you upgrade a level, you can upgrade to level 2. You can upgrade this to level 2, this to level 2, and this to level 2. I think the storage you can upgrade infinitely, which it doesn't say 1 of 7. So you can upgrade it to up to level 7. I don't know whether you can survive the demon attacks at higher levels. But. And finally, travel. You have, when you go into travel, you can see all the Solaces that you've created. As you can see, I started naming them from tier 7, naming them by the tier. I mean, you can see the tier level here, but when you're looking for so if you go on the map and you're looking at a Solace, you'll see it's a Solace, and the default is like this, Solace 16, and you have no idea where that is on the map. So you have to have a Solace to see where the Solaces are, if you see what I mean. Whereas if you name it tier 7, tier 8, tier 9, when you're in the relevant tiers, you know where they are roughly. And this one is tier 4. There's a spider's nest there, and I'm harvesting spider silk, I think it is. And here I'm harvesting limestone. So now I've built this one. I can teleport to any of these positions on the map. So I'm going to go back to start with, I'm going to go back to show you what I mean. I hit the 0 key and it'll take me back here. Yeah, because I made this my home key. So if I go travel, I go back to my first one, and it's a huge tower. That's my home one. I can click on teleport, and I've gone all the way across the map in a few seconds. So as you can see, I've leveled this one up. I think it's to level 2, is it? I'm not sure. I was level 5, so it's not too bad. Pretty good, really. Oh, I can upgrade the power. But you only need to upgrade the power if you're building a town, which I built here. So I've got these obelisks. I put one here, I don't know why, but I've got 4 around. I've got a fire, I've got storage, all this storage, I've labelled it. You can label the boxes, the crates. There's a enchanting table here, but I'm not using magic at the moment. I don't really deal with magic. So here's my bed. I can go to bed now and sleep. Just F on that. So it's now morning. And here is the first thing you build when you start building a town, is a storehouse. And the town businesses put stuff in the store into storage here. Now my storage is full. I've got 7,700 slots, and they're all T0. I don't need them. But this was my first town, and you can build these. You can craft these crates and stuck them in here, and it will fill them up, give you more and more storage. The more you put in there. For those of you who are early in the game, this thing here is called a Transmogrifier, and it can upgrade your resources. So if I put a T, it won't work with a T12. It only works with your current level or lower levels. So it's a tier. This is a tier 0 Transmogrifier. So oops, I'm hitting the screen there. Yeah, so I can't use it here. But it increases the rarity of the item. So if you're doing a refined iron, this is common iron, and increase it. I need 20 common iron to create an uncommon iron, and each one has higher strengths, especially when you're looking at weapons and harvesting tools. So you need 20 common to make one uncommon. You need 10 uncommon to make a rare, 10 rare to make an elite, 10 elite to make a legendary. You can find these, well, you can find uncommon resources around the map, but you only find uncommon. Uncommon, I think I found a rare once in all the travelling I've done. So yeah, but it's very useful. It gives an extra strength to your tools and your weapons. And I forgot to do that. No, something else I didn't do the level. So now you may wonder, you may be looking at my resources here. Those of you who played this before, and see that I've got a lot of resources. You know, the slots only hold 100. So I've cheated a bit. I've got a cheat engine where I can increase my resources as I want. That's what's allowed me to travel so far, so fast. So that's here. This is a workshop. So you've got a forge to make iron into iron ore into iron. You've got a sawing station to make timber into lumber. You've got a woodworking station to create woodworking tools. Here you've got a deconstruction bench, which is useful if you created something by accident, or you've got old stuff that you don't want to use anymore. You can change it back to the resources that it was made from, which is quite useful. The smithing station for creating metal things, leatherwork station for creating leather things, tanning rack to convert hide into leather, stone cutting station to make stone stuff, You've got a retting vat, which changes stalks, which you find as a resource you find out in the open, like trees and stuff. It changes that into thread, which you use to make certain stuff. Here we've got tailoring station to make clothes, and it's a treasure chest which I got from one of the castles. So this is the only area I use in this big tower, huge tower. It's quite tall. So if we go outside, you'll see my town. So, and these things are called what are they called? Scanner. They're called resource scanners, and when we looked at the map, you saw there was a yellow circle. So these scanners tell you what's available within that range of the scanner. You can increase the range by using higher tier stuff. So there you got the range, and it tells you all the uncommon, rare, elite, and legendary. As you can see in this area, the T0 area, and maybe a little bit T1 here. You can only see uncommon stuff. You can't see anything else. There's nothing else other than uncommon. Now I've got another one somewhere here, which has got a huge area. As you can see, it's absolutely huge. And it's not actually showing, except for places I've been, it's not showing anything. And again, it's still only showing uncommon. If I take uncommon off, nothing. No rare, no elite. So uncommon is green, rare is blue, so you see rare stuff. If I click that, nothing. Or one thing, oh yeah. Looks like green and blue are very similar. You can see a rock here. So that's a rare stone. Elite. I can't see any changes there. And legendary, no one's ever found legendary, I don't think. Yeah, so that's these resource scanners. Not particularly useful. You just travel about and you find stuff, that's the main thing. So here's my town. You've got, what we've got here, a stoneworker, carpenter, arable farmer, and so on, all around. Here is I think it's the inn. Is this the inn? No, market. This is the market. This is the inn, I believe. Yeah, so this is the inn. Most of them have got these labels on them, so it tells you what they are. The inn and the market don't. So I haven't actually build the whole town. I can put a town hall in here and build these things, but I don't need to because I'm not doing that at the moment. I'm not trying to make a permanent town. I've got stuff around here as well. They will give you recipes. Some of them. You need to upgrade them, and they will give you recipes for certain things, for different items. Like here, for example, if I upgrade this, it'll with one tier 1 uncommon ore, it will teach me the executioner's axe. Here it will teach me the sentinel's axe, elven war axe, ancient axe, and so on and so forth, edge bat, piercer. So the more you upgrade them, the higher level of weapon you'll get in the weaponsmith. And the armor smith will give you chainmail stuff, guardian stuff, and stuff, so on and so forth. So out in the open, so I put a wall around here. It's not really necessary. That I haven't never been attacked, so yeah, not really useful. So you see, I've cleared quite a lot of trees around here. There's lots of trees. I forested them. Oh, do I need to change this to home. No, don't need to change this to home. So yeah, I've gone north. As you can see on the map, I could go east, south, west. You can see up the top here, there is the compass. It shows you a small part of the compass, but it's all you need really. It tells you how many days you've been playing and what the time is, current time. So I just headed north, went that north and just ran. I'd kill things along the way. I'd stop in different tiers. As I went up tiers, I laid down a Solace, so I could go back if need be. Actually, so another thing down the bottom, you'll see these are your hotkeys. This hotkey, if you hit 1, it will give you. It'll change the weapon, or the tool rather, to the one you need. So for the stone, if I hit 1, it will change to a pickaxe. Sorry, that's not a pickaxe, a hammer, what's it called? I can't remember. A sledgehammer, yes. It'll change to a sledgehammer. If I go to a tree and hit 1, it'll change to an axe. Now because I'm level 12 and we're in level 0, because I'm tier 12, I've got tier 12 weapon, a tool, and I'm in tier 0 area, it takes the resources down in one swipe, no problem. And if I go to an iron resource, I will get, and hit 1, I will get a pickaxe. If I go to a stalk resource and hit 1, it'll change to a scythe, or sickle, not a scythe, a sickle. And if I shoot something, like if I shoot that cow, for example, if I kill that cow, whoops, I missed. I've got a nice little function here. If I hit 6, oh, it didn't work. If I hit 6, I think it only works on enemies, not on these things. So if I hit 1 here, it will change to and it actually doesn't show, but it's a skinning knife. It didn't go so fast you didn't see it, it just doesn't show. It's a feature. Oh God, sorry, I keep putting my hand in front of the camera. So yeah, so that's my first town, and as I say, I went north from that. So let's go back to, do I need to, what else? Oh, so we're looking at the toolbar at the bottom, and the other thing I've got is this. If I hit 2, I will jump backwards, and you can upgrade that to jump back further. So if I'm having a fight and I'm not doing so well, I can hit that and I jump back away and I can shoot. Yeah. If I do 3, it gives me multiple shots, so I can take out. If I've got, say, 3 enemies coming at me, straight at me, I hit 3 and it shoots a whole load of arrows. And notice that that goat actually died, because it didn't look like he was in range, but he was in range of that. So that's multiple shots. 4 I've got set as my food, so when I get hungry, you can see on the bar on the left, that is temperature, that is hunger, and that is water. That is your strength, stamina, and something else. I don't know what that is. And here is the area you're in. So this is grassland. There's badlands, grassland, badlands, and mountains. I think that's all. I think there's only 3 biomes. So next to that is my deconstructing tool. I can use that. So if I go back to my, where is it here? So I go back to my village. I can use the deconstructing tool to deconstruct, but it will well, you'll see what it does in a second. I'll just go into an area I'm not using, say here. I can hit the 5 key and aim at something, and it'll just disappear. Do that wall, and it gives me the resources back as well. I might as well make that. Oops. If anyone comes in there, they're going to drop down there. Yeah, so that's quite useful. I don't know why I've got it on my toolbar, because I don't use it very often. So number 6 is what I tried to use then. So I'll show you that if I can find a beastie. Oh, it's all over here. There you go. Something's going to attack me. It's a bit difficult to kill myself. Here we are. So I go up to him, and he's not taking any notice of me for some reason. If I hit the 6, it's a power bar. Basically, it's just damages anything that's near you, any enemy that's near you. Number 7 is it's another multiple shot. No, it's a strong shot. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's a strong ranged attack. And then the number 8 is the long range targeted. So the good thing about having them on your taskbar, on your hotkey bar, is the time between. So if you shoot something and you don't kill it, so I shot at that chicken and didn't kill it, whoops, I missed, I can't shoot again for, if you watch I'll do it again, you watch down here on the left, there's a timer. So until that timer goes away, you can't shoot again. But I can shoot that, then I can hit 7. Oh, I've got on. So I can shoot that and hit 7 and 8 and 9. And you can see I can do all those without the timer going. So very, very useful. Very useful. Obviates the problem of the timer. So the last one is number 9, which is a ranged attack. It's a long range, multiple shot attack. It's very similar to number 3, which is also multiple. You see, that's a wider range. Number 9 is a narrower range, but same sort of thing. But very, very useful if you've got a lot of enemies attacking you at one time, or if you go into one of the dungeons and there's a lot of enemies looking at you, or grouped. If there's a group of them, you're gone. And round the obelisks, not obelisks, there are, what are they called now on the map? No, they don't show you on the map. There is one. Yeah, these are called tears for some reason. T-E-A-R, tear. So they're protected by those rock monsters. There's 2 or 3 of them, depending. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Quite easy to kill with your multiple shots and range attacks. So you come what they leave behind these carcasses, and you hit F, they give you some resources usually. Right, so you can see it's getting dark, it's getting night time. We can go back to our Solace, which we can see over there. You can actually see it because I've got the beacon on. You see that purple light in the distance where I'm pointing, and I just head towards that. I can then go to, or I can go to 0 and go to tier 12. So here I've made this one. I've actually made a small workshop. Only a couple of things. Haven't got everything here. Just what I needed to get to carry on. And I've got some storage here. T2 storage. I think they are. Yeah, it's all T2 tier 2 level storage. So let's go back to. Actually, let's go to my workshop, tier 12 workshop, because there's some stuff I want to get rid of. And there's a bed here. So I've got a trash bin, in England we call a rubbish bin, and basically I can put anything I don't want in. Now food is the same. It gives you whatever level it is. It gives you the same amount. So it gives me cooked meat will give you 10 fullness. So it gives you 10 points on your food meter or your hunger meter, and tier 12 will give you 10, and tier 0 will give you 10 as well. So they don't get stronger as you move through the tiers. So yeah, so I want to get rid of that. Do I need to? No, you can get rid of that. I've got plenty of water. Oh yes, the other thing I needed to show you was the bags. You can build these bags in the crafting section. It's called a bag. You need thread for it, so you need a tailoring station. You need a tailoring station, and you need thread. So for thread you need the retting vat to change stalks into thread, because you can only harvest stalks, you can't harvest thread. So you need a retting vat and a tailoring station. You can create the bags. Now the bags will give you, depend on the level, you'll give you a number of items you can carry. So tier 12 will give you 29 slots in each bag. So if you think about it, each of these is worth an extra 28 slots in your backpack. So you can put stuff in here. See, 29 slots. It's only taking up 1 slot of your backpack. And you can store a shitload of stuff using the bags. Obviously the lower tiers, the less slots they've got, but it still works really well. I think the lowest tier 0 is 5 slots, so you're getting an extra 4 slots per bag. So if you've got 5 bags, that's an extra 20 slots, which is very useful. The only thing is you can't. Now I'm not sure about this. I don't think you can use, if you put a resource in there, I don't think you can use it. Let me try that. Put the iron in there and craft something that needs iron. Yeah, it shows me I've got that. So yeah, which is good. When you've got stuff in your bag, you can still use it. I like to have it outside the bag, the resources, so I know what I've got, what resources I've got. Oh, I didn't, the T0, I've still got some T0 stuff. So I'll go to the waste bin, put in the T0, and that, and that, and that, and destroy that. I don't need it. The other useful thing is you've got a bucket, and you can fill it with water, and you've got 29 slots, I think it is, I'm not sure. It depends on what tier bucket. You've got all these slots of water, and you can just click on one and drink from that directly. You don't need it to be here, but once it's here, you can't get rid of it. You can't move it. You can't put it back in here. Even right-clicking it doesn't work. Now, talking about right-clicking, something I took a while to find out is when you've got a bag open, you can just right-click. Sorry. If you've got something else open, and then you open this, because I've got the destructor open, the waste bin open, and I right-clicked, it'll actually go to the waste bin, not the bag. Even though I've got the bag open here, it will go to what I've got open first. So I need to come out of that, go into the waste bin, and bring that back. So come out of here and just go into the tab menu, and I can go bag. If I right click the bag, it opens it. I don't have to, if I left click it, you have to click open. I right click, it opens. Okay. So I can just right click on something, it goes straight into the bag. You don't have to drag and drop it, which I thought you used to have to do, Why is that 1 tier 12? I need to get rid of that. And same, putting it back. Now I've got all my resources on one line just for convenience, so I know what's there, and I can, if I need to harvest any more, they'll go in there. So what I can do now is I can drink some of this water, try and get rid of it. Have some food. Now if I want food, I have to come out of there, and I hit 4, and you can see my food meter going up. So I'm full. I'll do another one. I'm absolutely full. And it doesn't let you eat more than your fullness if you have eaten too much. Stops you getting fat. Okay, so nighttime. Nighttime can be useful. I've travelled in nighttime. You just run. You've got a light. I've got a torch built in. I'm not sure where it's built in. Let me have a look. It should be an adventuring. Yeah, so I've got it. You've got a torch here. I don't know if it gives you. Let me have a look at torch. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't matter what tier you've got. Maybe it does. Let's craft that and see if it gives me any more light. I don't know if it does give me any more light. Yeah, now that's the other thing, if you right click on something like that or the bag, it will automatically update it here. 814. No. I leave the light on all the time. It says light 814. Light 814. You collect light. For those of you who don't play this, or haven't started playing this game yet, or not into it yet, you can collect light by killing enemies. You get 1 or 2 light per enemy you kill. You can also collect them in ruins, but they are very difficult to get hold of. Apart from ones that are on the lower level, there are some that are higher up, and you have to build steps or whatever, ladders to get up to them, and each one's worth 10 light. I haven't found the use for it really. You get enough by killing enemies. you get plenty. Money hasn't been implemented yet, so that'll just say 0 all the time. 0 crafting. Yeah, so I don't know if that gave me more light. No, I don't think it did. Don't think it did. Let me put that in the trash can. I'll keep it. No, it hasn't given me more light. So we're coming into morning now. There's no need to go to bed. Evening time can be a good time to do your building your workshop, building a town if you're into that at the moment, or just running for it, running like mad. The enemies will chase you for a certain length of time, and then they give up. What is that yellow thing? Oh, I think that's, yeah, it's just sunlight catching a part of a tree. Yeah, so I mean, you can put the bed anywhere. You don't need a roof or anything. It rains, but you don't get damaged by the rain. Nothing. Rain doesn't affect you. Don't get cold. Don't get damaged. I guess that will be implemented sometime in the future. There's a lot to do on this game. So yeah. What else do I need to tell you about? Oh yeah, this is another biome, ocean. You can actually dive into the ocean and swim in the ocean, but you do lose air. I don't know, at the moment, I haven't come across anything that will allow you to stay under the water longer. But I'm sure at some stage there will be. And I don't know if the biome is developed. When you go underwater, there's no resources apart from fish. And one thing I found, I killed a shark and I cooked the fish meat that it produced, that it gave me, and I couldn't eat it. It wouldn't let me eat it. It said eat and nothing happened. So I think there's a little problem there, but it doesn't matter. There's plenty of animals around to kill and eat and provide food. Cows, rabbits, foxes, wolves, goats, chickens, to name but a few. Crocodiles, hippos. I'm sure there's some I have forgotten. Okay, so now I'm going to call it a day because I'm going to carry on northwards to see how many tiers I can discover. So that's it for this video. If you want to see more, just follow my channel and I'll produce some more. If they're interesting. If I can think of anything interesting apart from what I've told you already. Sorry about the hand in front of the camera. I may edit some of that out, who knows. Okay, that's it for now. See you later.